Hello and good day to you. My name is Anino Ogunjobi. Today we'll be making a swatch gauge on our SK280 knitting machine. To knit our swatch gauge, we need our claw weight, we need a 1x1 needle pusher, we need a yarn. I'll be using the Robin double knit yarn, but not this color. I'll be using Robin double knit yarn. It's made by Thomas Ramsey. It's made in the UK by Thomas Ramsey. It's an acrylic yarn and it's a double knit. Alright, now let me... Okay, before I forget, we'll be using a metric ruler instead of the growing ruler, because I don't want to know the number of stitches. I just want to know the meters between each stitch when we want to measure the swatch gauge. This is because the software I'll be inputting my swatch gauge, the tension of my tension into, is the Designer Knit software, and it wants to know the meters between 40 stitches and 60 rows. Though it's the same swatch gauge that you need to knit to use the green ruler, the same amount of needles, the same measurement and everything, but the only difference is I'm using just a metric ruler because of the charting software I'll be using. Now let's take a look at our carriage and how I'm going to set it. On both sides, if you notice the weaving knob, if it's up, it's going to be the stockinette knob, but now it's the weaving knob. I've just put it down to the weaving knob. You do it on both sides of the carriage. Let me tilt the camera. You see it's on both sides of the carriage. Then your Russell levers is going to be on 2. Sorry, I just have to tilt it. It's going to be on 2. You see, this one is hold, but this one is, since we are not doing pattern knitting, we'll put it on 2 on both sides of the, on both ends of the carriage. And the side lever is going to be on stockinette. The side lever, if you notice, is on the circle, and this one is on the triangle. It's on the circle, and this one is on the triangle. But what we're doing is to put it on the circle. You leave it on the circle. It's not pattern knitting, so we'll put it on the circle. We just want to cast on. And since it's stockinette, we're going to leave the carriage like that. You do them on both sides of the carriage. Also, the cam lever and the stitch dial. Sorry, I just want to adjust it so that you see it clearly. Okay, let's see what we can get. Okay, I'll be setting my stitch die to 8 because I'm using a double knit yarn. Sometimes I use 7, but since I'm demonstrating and I don't want to give more stress on my needles, I'll just use 8. You can use 8, 9. Just try it and see what. Then the cam lever is going to be on 0. I'm putting it on 0 because I'm knitting stockinette. Alright, let's start knitting. I've already threaded my mast. I'll just take the camera off so that you see that it's threaded. And if we go closer, You see down the auto tension unit, I'm using 3 on it. On both sides of the tension unit is set to 3. Okay. And my stitch die is set to 8. For now, I'm not going to change my row counter because I've not started proper knitting. My row counter, I'm not going to change it for now. I'm going to leave it like so for now. So let's start knitting. Let's cast on first. We need to push 35 needles on the left and to 35 and 35 needles on the right. To B position, you know this A position and this B position, which is upper working position. And with your 1x1 needle pusher, I'm going to focus on the needle bed now. With your 1x1 needle pusher, you push every alternate needle. You push every alternate needle to D position. You see, we pushed it from B position here. This is A position. From upper working position, you pushed it to D position or hold position. Just repeat it across the needles you want to use for your swatch. Okay. One is pushed. Okay. Let's see it. Okay, all right. So what we're going to do now is take our yarn, put it in the carriage, just tilt to the carriage, put our yarn in the carriage, we'll close the, you can put it, we'll put it in the one section, the inner part. Okay, and we'll just place it on top of the needles or over the needles in D position. Don't know if you can see this clearly. I want you to see it. What I normally do is that if you can see me, I'm trying to tie this knot here. I'm trying to take the tail of the yarn and tie it on this clamp here to secure it for me. I love my hands being free. Just trying to turn the lighting away. So I think it's too much there. So just tie to that and still on. I'll take my tension, my stitch die, I'll take it to a little bit lower, in between, just because I want to cast on. I'll take it back to 8. Then I'll knit one across. You can see my carriage at the other side of the bed. I'll knit another row, and I'll knit another one, and another one, like 4 or 5 rows. Then I think cast on is set. Let's take a look at it. Yes, you see, cast on is set. So what we do next is take our claw weight and hang it. If you have more claw weight, you can use it. I want you to see me hanging my claw weight. So we'll have to capture that part very well. and I'll do same at the other side of the needle bed. You see me, I'm not hanging it up with on the needles here with the stitch on the needles there. I'm hanging it below the previous ones I've knitted, because I don't want my carriage trying to pass over it. But you can still do it, especially when you are doing Arab cast on. But with this cast on, you can just continue knitting, except you want to do one. You want to use your ravel cord on it with 1 by 1. You want to make mock ribs or so, or mock rib or picot edges. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is we'll go back to our carriage, and we're going to set both sides. You see the knob is here, is on the weaving. We'll move it to the stockinette. We'll move it up to the stockinette button. We'll move the button up, the knob up to the stockinette, and that's up. Okay. All stitch patterns, all that part of carriage remains the same, except you are knitting. You want to do pattern knitting also. So here I'm going to cut my yarn and use another yarn, but if I don't want to, I can just hang my yarn at the back. Let's do that so that I'll just hang it to take it out of the way. I don't know if you saw it, I just took it through the back here. I want you seeing everything. I don't want to be don't want to hurry over it. Okay. Oh, I don't want to assume. So I'm going to take it to the camera. So at the back of the needle bed, you can see the yarn at the back of the needle bed now. Let me take the carriage out of the way so that you see it. You see it's at the back of the needle bed, under the needle bed, and then I'm going to hang it on this clip here. Okay, let's just focus on the clip. Okay, I'm going to hang it on this clip here to take it out of the way for now. But if you want to cut it, you just cut it. All right, I'm going to take this the other yarn. I'll put it in the carriage and I'll continue knitting. I'll put it in the carriage and we'll just knit. Okay, there's something I'm supposed to tell you. There's a trick I do, and the trick is that since I'm using 8, okay, now I put my stitch die back to 8. Come back to the carriage and see it. Since I'm using 8, I'll knit 8 rows. You know, sometimes you take a swatch, you want to know what you knitted it on, or the stitch die you use and the auto tension you need to use for that yarn. So this is the tips and tricks that I use. What I do is that I'll knit 8. I'll put it and knit 8 rows with this. That tells me I'm using stitch die 8. And if I need 3 with the I decide what I want to use it. And also you have to note the one you want to use for your tension first. Is it the auto tension you want to start with? And the stitch die next. You have to note it so that you don't make such mistakes. So if I say I want to use the auto tension, I'll use this purple yarn, this lavender yarn. let's do the auto tension first. And I'll need 3 rows with it. 1, 2, 3. So I don't need it anymore. I'm going to snip it off. So I've knitted 3 rows with my auto tension. For my auto tension, that tells me that I used tension 3 auto tension. And now for my masts, I'm going to knit 8 rows. Sorry, for my stitch die, I'm going to knit 8 rows with the mint green. So I'm just trying to lose more yarn. And I hope you're seeing this. Sometimes. Alright. So I've knitted 8 rows. We need more claw weight to hold our knitting, especially the middle ones down. So I'll just continue, and I hope it knits properly. So now we're going to take our row counter. I'm going to put it on 0, 0, 0 because I want to start proper knitting. And I'll be using the blue yarn as my main yarn. So I'll just snip this mint green off and hang it. So we need to put our yarn in and we'll knit. Alright, so take the blue yarn now, put it in the carriage. Wow, it's on one side and so I have to snip it. No problem though, just snip it. And put it in the carriage. And we'll knit across. Our tension is on 9. So I'll just knit. Oh, sorry, our tension is on 8. And I'll knit 30 rows first. So okay, we are on 30, and if you check our row counter, you can see that we are on 30 now. So what I'm going to do next is to push the second 21st needle. We need to focus on the needle bed. The 21st needle, we're going to push it out to work to a hold position. Okay. So focus our camera on the needle bed. Yeah, that's the 20th needle and that's the 21st needle. So I'm going to push it out to hold position. And I'll get a strand of yarn. I'm going to use the mint green. I'll get 2 strands because I'm going to do it on the other side of the second 21st needle. So first I'm going to place it on it and manually knit it in. So you're going to see me taking the needles. Yarn is on the hook. is in the hook, and I'll just manually knit it in, and it's still be on B position. Be in B position. So we'll move across the needle bed to the second 21st needle on the left, which is this. I'll do same. We'll hang it in and we'll manually knit it. We just see my hand manually knitting it with my hand. Just pull it back to knit. So continue another 30 rows. You can see the knit coming up. Okay, now let's continue another 30 rows. So that should be 6. Okay, now we've knitted 60 rows, and I'm going to snip the blue yarn off. So now you see we knitted 60 rows, and we need to knit this stripe. So this 8 rows of the mint green and 2 rows of 3 rows of the for the auto tension, and we need to knit another row and take our swatch from the knitting machine. So I need 8 rows. And 3 rows of for the auto tension. You know, that's my tip. And I need let me just say 8 rows more, or 10 rows, before we remove our knitting from the knitting machine. So we need 8 rows more, 10 rows, before we remove our knitting from the knitting machine. I think I didn't even count. Here we don't need to cast off. All we need to do is just move the carriage over the needles, and it will drop and knit it. Swatch gauge, I'm just removing the claw weights from them, or from it, and we need to focus our camera now to see. Here's our swatch gauge. You can see these are the two, this is the 21st needle, and this also 21st needle on the left. This, sorry, okay, it was like so. So it was like this. So it was 21st needle on the left, 21st needle on the right, 21st needle on the left. One flip it is going to be, okay, since it's going to be our right side, you can use the pulse side as a right side, it's up to you. 21st needle on our right, 21st needle on our left now. And between this mint green and this other mint green is 60 rows. So we have between 40 stitches, marking it on the 21st, and here it's going to be between 60 rows. Then you remember the mint green, we use it to know the numbers of our stitch die. The number we used on our stitch die, which is 8 rows. And the lavender we knitted 3 rows to note the numbers of the auto tension unit, the number on the auto tension we use, which is 3 rows. Which is 3, and we have to knit 3 rows. The same goes for the mint green stitch dye, and this stockinette. So that's my little trick or tips. Tips or tricks, or tips and tricks. Okay, tips and tricks. Let's use them for knitting my swatch gauge. And also when I see it next time, I know that this was what I used. This was what I used. Okay. And since I know that the yarn is DK and tension 3 can knit on the SK, and the knit is tight a little, I know this. I know this is for the standard gauge knitting machine. But I think I need to and other tips on how to know which one is I knitted on the standard gauge and which one I knitted on the LK150, because I have different machines. Okay, now we have to measure. I'm going to put the ruler in between. Let's zoom in so that we pick it up. This is how we measure. You put the ruler in. Okay, and we put it here. So we have to read between these stitches, between this mark and this mark. So the 21st and 21st needle. So we need to read. Okay, I'm reading 15.5. So 50.5 centimeters for 40 stitches. And let's measure the rows. The row is quite small. I'm getting 12.4 so. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you weren't seeing it. Alright. I'm getting 12.4, 12.5. Let me place my ruler well. Okay, 12 point. Okay. 12.5. 12.5 and 15.5. So the rows 12.5 and the stitches between 40 stitches is 15.5, and between 60 rows is 12.5. So that's how we measure a swatch. You can leave it to rest overnight. What I'll do is leave it to rest overnight and measure it and see what tension it will give you. Perhaps when it relaxes, it will shrink a little. You don't need to stretch this one. I know the LK150 I demonstrated that you have to stretch it and everything, because the gauge is really wide and you want your stitches to close. So but this one you don't need to stretch it. If you see the stitches are closed, you don't need to stretch it or anything. Just leave it, let it relax overnight. Then we'll measure and see what we'll come up with. But I just taught you how to measure your swatch gauge. And the next video, we'll be using our swatch gauge, the tension on our swatch gauge, to knit this beautiful gather gown. We'll be knitting the gather gown in full. I know in the previous video we didn't knit when I demonstrated the LK150, we didn't knit the gather, we knitted the gather skirt, and I taught you how to continue. And also we knitted a baby sweater for 0 to 3 months old with this buttonhole shoulder opening for ease of wear, so that you can wear it easily over the head of the child while having a close fitted neck, and also you have your long sleeve. But this SK280 video, we are going to knit this one from start to finish. So why not join me in the next video when we're going to knit this gather gown. It might not be striped, might be too it might be a monochrome color but it's not going to be, I don't know if it's going to be striped until then. So join me. Let me keep that as a surprise. So join me in the next video when we knit this gather gown, exactly this gather gown, but this pattern, the stripe might vary, might be. So have fun And you can visit my blog anino.ogunjobi.com and keep up my crafting activities or craft news around the world and much more. We have free printables there, and the patterns will be placed there. Pattern of this gather gown will be placed there for you to knit after we do the video. So you can keep up, visit the blog and keep up with what's happening in the crafting community worldwide. Thank you and have fun.